Welcome to How to Run Profitable Retreats. I am Leni Cavazos, retreat strategist and host of the show for coaches, entrepreneurs, and transformational leaders who want to design retreats that actually make money. If you've ever put your heart into a retreat only to walk away exhausted or worse, broke, you are not alone. This podcast is here to change that. Each week, I'll bring you stories, strategies, and expert insights to help you create meaningful, transformational retreats that also support your business, your lifestyle, and your bottom line. Let's make your next retreat not just powerful, but profitable. Hello, welcome back to another podcast episode of How to Run Profitable Retreats. I am your host, Leni Cavazos, and I'm so excited to have here with me today, Lori McDowell. She has a PhD on chemistry, and she's a transformational strategist, retreat curator, and reinvention expert, helping visionary leaders design soul-aligned, high-impact experiences without burnout. With a background in chemical engineering, she now brings that same precision to human transformation, guiding business owners to create extraordinary growth through mindset work and done-for-you transformational retreats. As a TEDx speaker and best-selling author of the Re-Invention Mindset, Lori blends practical strategy with powerful breakthroughs, helping her clients build businesses and lives rooted in purpose, impact, and deep connection. Lori, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you, Leni. I'm happy to be here.
All right. So for everyone who's listening, full disclosure, Lori is one of our workshop leaders for the Sellout Retreat Summit that is taking place in Mexico. We're having it in Tepoztlán from the 25th to the 27th of September. So I wanted to bring her into this podcast episode so we could talk a little bit about what she's going to be covering in that workshop. So if you feel this is very interesting for you and you want to learn more, you definitely want to be grabbing your ticket to the event. So Lori, once again, thank you so much for being here. And tell us a little bit about what you're bringing to this workshop. Like, what are you bringing to this summit where all these women are going to come to grow their retreat businesses, have more expansion, build connection?
Yes, I'm so excited about the summit. I can't wait. The place looks beautiful. So what I am going to bring, I've done a lot of retreats for myself, for other people, for companies, and I've always found that the most powerful part of the retreat and the most transformational part was when we do a community give back event, something that's local to wherever we are, that takes the culture, the flavor, and we actually give back. And it's so powerful because so many of the people that come to the retreats, they're heart-centered, they like to give. So they're happy to come to this retreat and then give back while they're there. It's amazing for the host because they get to take part in this amazing experience while also having a great retreat that grows their business. So it's really a win-win for everyone, the local community, the host, everyone.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about what do you see as being the biggest problems that we see in the retreat industry when it comes to people wanting to give it back, but maybe they're doing it in a way that is not actually supporting their business.
Right. Yeah. People tend to give back in the retreat industry as well as most of the coasting industry by lowering their prices. And when you lower your prices, if you set your price right to begin with, you shouldn't want to or be able to lower your prices because your price, you have a business and you need to make money if that business is going to run, and it's very important. So when you lower your prices, because you want to give back, you're really, you're hurting yourself because it's hard to give back when you don't have anything to give. And you're actually not really helping the people you give the lower prices to because they feel like they're getting something of lower value. They're not necessarily as invested in it. So it doesn't really achieve what it wants to. Whereas if you have a lot of money and your retreats are profitable, you can then give to the people who need it the most. Not the attendees, but whether it's, we've done work where we visited an orphanage in Fiji and spent a day with the kids and brought them toys and diapers and stuff. And it was so amazing. Or you can give to, a farm and help work on the local farm. So many ways you could give back to people who really need it and really benefit from it.
So what I'm hearing from you is shifting just the place where you're giving back, right?
Yes.
So not thinking about, I'm going to give back through discounts or places where I'm putting my business in jeopardy, but actually finding an avenue so I can still fulfill this need to give, but in a way that really helps those people out there that could really, really benefit from this. And the right person who is supposed to come to your retreat will come and will pay the full price tag.
Right. Yeah, it's actually, definitely the mindset shift. You're shifting it where instead of your business being a charity, your business is a profitable business, and then you take some of those profits and give those to a charity. It's a way of thinking. But what's really amazing is sometimes when people know they're doing this community give back and they're going to get this out of it, they'll actually pay more because it's like they're getting this incredible experience. They're heart-centered, they want to give back. So they're getting this amazing transformation for themselves, and they're also getting to change someone else's life, change the world, create a ripple that makes a huge difference.
I really, really appreciate that point of view because it is definitely a mindset shift when it comes to like this space, because it makes such a huge difference, right? When we're looking at our business like a business. And it reminds me, I had this podcast episode, at the end of last year with Christopher Hill. And basically, he has a company that they do luxury philanthropic travels.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, people come to different parts, and he's based in New Zealand. And basically, people come from all over the world and they have a luxury travel, but then inside of it, they do philanthropy. So they go, maybe they're building a kitchen, maybe they're building a house. And it's giving back to the community, but they're doing it like the people who are coming, they're doing it and choosing to come to this retreat for a very specific reason, but they don't want to rough it up, right? They want to have this luxury experience, but they also want to give back. And there's so many people out there that are looking for that.
Yeah. One of my coaches calls it strategic philanthropy at times. I mean, you can actually even use it to like fill a workshop or an event leading up to a retreat or something you're having where, people charge maybe $27 and you make the thing, okay, this $27 is going to go to Kiva or going to go to a nonprofit. And people will pay $27 if it's going to go to a nonprofit without thinking about it. And some of them may even, oh, I'm going to go here. Whereas if you charge $27, people are always like, oh, I'm not going to pay. It's a total mindset shift when you give people the opportunity to do well, to do good for other people. They're willing to invest in themselves as well because it's helping not just them, but the world.
And this brings me back. So when I was like, I think 18 years old, my granddad, he sent me to this like training in New York State. And it was for the place was called Fee Foundation for Economic Education. And it was like a 1 week event where I went and I learned all about economics. But the biggest piece of what they were teaching there was human behavior, how human behaves, and then how that shifts the economy. Right. So it was a very like centered approach to economy. And I absolutely loved it. But really what I took out of it, it was people make decisions out of personal interest. That is how we're driven. And even when we're giving to charity, we're giving back. It's out of self-interest. It's about how it makes me feel. And then the ripple effect is that you're actually helping someone, but you're doing it about how it makes you feel. So if you're going to be able to come back to your family and tell them, hey, I went to this retreat and then I gave back to the community and we went and we built houses, or we went to this orphanage, that is going to feed your bank of feeling good, right? Like your bank account of feeling good that we have. I mean, I don't know if like people, if you're listening to this, I also train on, like emotional intelligence and all this like beautiful, wonderful things. And there is like banks, right? We have internal bank accounts for different feelings, emotions, and relationships, right? So if we're putting into someone else's bank account, are they giving back enough or not? And then all of these things that end up changing. So our feeling good bank account increases when we're doing good, when we're doing charity. And what I see in the retreat industry is that it is a little bit disconstructed, right? Like it's a little bit moved into the space of like, I want to give back because I'm going to feel good about myself, but then you're just doing it in the wrong way.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, to give back to someone who really needs it, like truly needs it, is it's a bigger boost to your, how you feel. And and realistically, if your business doesn't make money, you can't give back because you have nothing to give. So you have to profit. I mean, if you
Right.
have to make a profit, and the bigger profit you make, the more you can give. And yeah, like you're so right. People talk about those give back opportunities, and you can incorporate them like into the theme. Like we once did a retreat. It was a corporate retreat, so it was a team building retreat. And as part of the one of the activities, it was a team building challenge. We put everybody in teams and we had them all build bicycles. And there was a competition to see who could build the bicycle the quickest and get everything right. And then that afternoon, we went to a woman in children's home and gave the bicycles to the kids who were there. So it was so much fun because we got to do the activity that was for team building and we got to give back. So you can be so creative in how you can keep what your give back activity to fit with the theme of whatever your retreat is and with the local culture.
Oh my. Okay, so Lori, what I'm hearing here, it just gave me just goosebumps, like crazy, crazy goosebumps. Because I am thinking about, okay, so when I was working in Marriott's corporate office and at the Ritz-Carlton before that, there was a whole team that their whole thing was about community give back and what we could do. So it created this deep bonds. And I remember it, and I think it was one of the reasons I was able to move into the corporate space so fast, because just for everyone who's here, usually to get into the corporate space of like hospitality, it takes you between 10 to 15 years. I did it in 3.
Wow.
But it was because I also wanted to give back. I was giving so much to the company, but also I was going to these different events. And we did one that it was about, we planted trees. So it was a whole day experience. And we were planting these very unique trees to the desert that would survive and all the things. And people from different properties and from the corporate office could come, right? It was not just for the hotel itself, but it was a wider experience that was available for those employees who wanted to come. So what happened when I went there? I paired up with people in the corporate office. So when I did my application, I knew someone that was in the corporate office already, who knew my work, who had conversations with me, who immediately when I had an interview, they sent an email and they said, she is great. You definitely have to have her on her team.
Yeah.
The same day, I got a response saying, hey, you got the job.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, those connections you make, and because people see you, you're like-minded, you're someone who wants to help other people, and that builds a connection. So that's amazing. I love that story.
Yeah. And I went into that event not because I was thinking about it from a strategic perspective of like, what can I achieve? What can I do? It was from the space of, okay, yes, I will be seen, of course, right? Like my boss was the one who told me, Lainey, like, you need to be seen in front of these people. Like the things that you're doing, people need to know about it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best ways for you to do it. But I already wanted to come for the sake of giving back. And it makes such a huge difference because there was this intentionality behind it. But the main reason I was doing it, it was really to go do something good for the country where I was living at.
Yeah,
So
no, that makes so much sense. So
I love the example about like building the bicycles as a team building exercise and then giving them away to people who need them. I mean, isn't that so like brilliant and genius?
yeah, yeah, it is. There's like, and like I said, there's so many really cool things you can figure out with creativity, and that's what we're going to do at the workshop is, shift that mindset and then come up with some creative ways to, integrate a give back into a retreat.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for this workshop because it's going to be so powerful, so transformational. And I mean, I love all about like people making profit and having a profitable business. So it's going to shift completely the perspective of how you've been running your retreats and how you've been pricing your retreats into a different, like a completely different perspective, right? Such a bigger view of what is possible. I can't wait for that workshop, Lori. I am so thrilled.
For it too. So,
all right. So for everyone who's listening to this, what are your biggest takeaways? And just be very honest with yourself. What have you been doing in your business that is not at the standard and at the level where you're supposed to be leading? That is not giving back enough, but it's because you've been throwing, dirt on your business, right? You're not helping yourself. Like, be honest with yourselves. Ask yourself those hard questions. No one likes to ask them, but they're so necessary when you want to grow your business, when you want to really build something that changes people's lives. You need to be very transparent with your business, what you're creating, what you're doing, because only that's the only way for you to really grow. If you don't see what the problem is or what's happening, you can't grow at all. So if you're asking yourself that and you're like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to do it all on my own, right? I can see the gaps. Perfect. But what if I could come to an event like the one we had last year in San Diego with hundreds of women with the same intention, the same goal of building transformational businesses, and hearing from great experts like Sherry Rosenthal. You'll hear me share on stage. You'll have Lori doing workshops. We'll have conversations about corporate wellness and how to get into that world, and so many other great experts who are leading authorities in their spaces. What would that change for you in your life and your business? How will that transform who you are today so you can actually serve more people, get bigger profit for your business, bigger revenue, so you can give back as much as you want? So if you want to come and join us, you can find the links in the show notes. And also you can connect with Lori and hear more about her business and her services, running logistics and operations for retreats. Lori, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. Can't wait to see you in Mexico.
Yes, we will see each other in Mexico so soon.